If you've ridden Brightline lately, you've probably noticed the system already feels polished, sleek stations, comfortable trains, and a modern vibe rare in US rail. But the company isn't stopping there. Brightline just announced a series of network enhancements aimed at boosting reliability, capacity, and rider experience even further. Think upgraded infrastructure, smarter timetables, and hints of future expansion. What do these upgrades mean for Florida's fast-growing rail corridor and the passengers who count on it every day? Let's dive in and break it down right here on Great Trainspeed. Brightline Florida now owns and operates a modern, higher-speed intercity rail line linking Florida's biggest population centers. The corridor spans roughly 235 miles from Miami to Orlando, one of the nation's busiest travel axes, and plugs directly into major hubs, including Orlando International Airport. For travelers, that means faster downtown-to-airport connections, consistent headways, and a smoother alternative to congested highways. There's recognition to match. Brightline earned Travel Weekly's 2025 Gold Magellan Award in the ground transportation category, an industry nod to making contemporary train travel real in the U.S. and to the value of linking cities with smarter, more seamless service. Brightline notes this is a first for a passenger rail operator in a field long dominated by car services. The milestone fits a larger vision: shift trips from highways to cleaner rail. With electric locomotives and carbon-neutral operations at the core, the brand frames rail as efficient, eco-friendly, and genuinely enjoyable. Looking ahead, Brightline West targets high-speed service between Las Vegas and Southern California by 2029, with the potential to carry tens of millions of riders and lift regional economies. As climate pressures grow and metro areas sprawl, Brightline's trajectory points to a rail revival, showing that well-designed infrastructure can stand on its own. Travel Weekly's honor marks Brightline as a pace-setter and nudges competitors to raise the bar beyond the asphalt grind. So what's next on Brightline's side? To meet rising demand and optimize the guest experience, Brightline is rolling out network upgrades, tuning schedules around peak periods, refining fare products, and enhancing the premium offering, from lounge access to onboard hospitality. We'll break down exactly what's changing, why it matters, and how it affects your trip in the next part of this video. If you want clearer, data-driven rail updates like this, tap subscribe so you won't miss our next breakdown on the world of trains. Brightline is rolling out a rider-first refresh this October, and the idea is simple: make the trains match how people actually travel. After 2 years of full service between South Florida and Orlando, the team sifted through loads of feedback and ridership data, then tuned the product and the schedule to cut friction from door to door. If passengers ride premium, the experience stays familiar where it matters: lounge access, complimentary food and drinks, and flexible cancellations, but gets sharper at the points that save their time. The rarely used Uber credit is going away, and in its place, passengers will notice upgrades right away. Pre-boarding in Miami and Orlando, a dedicated guest services line with priority turnstiles, priority baggage claim, and 1 complimentary checked bag on top of 2 carry-ons. Passengers will also get a welcome refreshment the moment they settle in, which is a nice touch on a busy morning or after a long day. Smart riders aren't left out. The onboard menu gets a refresh, station food options expand, and the website now lets passengers toggle fares to show or hide taxes and fees, so there's no guesswork about what passengers actually pay. And for folks who commute or travel often, the fixed-rate Brightline passes for 10, 20, or 40 rides in Smart are sticking around. If a passenger lives on the train several days a week, that predictability matters. The headline, though, is service. Brightline is testing a new timetable focused on the hours when trains fill up fastest. In South Florida, during the morning and evening rush, we are looking at departures about every 30 minutes. Practically speaking, that means 5 southbound arrivals pack into Miami Central between 7 a.m. and 9:30 a.m., and 5 northbound departures roll out between 3:45 and 6:45 p.m. Mid-morning and late afternoon get more love too. 4 additional northbound runs from 7:45 to 10 a.m., and 4 more southbound arrivals between 4:15 and 7 p.m. In other words, passengers won't be staring at the board wondering if passengers just missed their shots. Another train is right behind it. Boca Raton is the sleeper story here. Demand has taken off, and Brightline's meeting it. In only 6 months, daily departures jumped from 19 to 28. Now roughly 80% of all South Florida trains stop at Boca, and about 90% of Orlando-bound trains do too. If Boca is the home base, it just got easier. Intercity capacity is scaling up as well. During peak travel periods between South and Central Florida, Brightline will run longer 8-coach trains, growing to 10 coaches before year's end. That's nearly double the peak capacity compared with this time last year. The goal is straightforward: more seats when travelers need them most, without sacrificing speed or comfort. Pricing within South Florida is getting clearer too. Brightline is moving to predictable peak and off-peak fares so passengers can plan their day and budget at the same time. Peak windows are Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 9:30 a.m. and 3:30 to 6:30 p.m. The classic commute crush. Special event trains are always considered peak regardless of the clock. Home Runner for Marlins games, End Zone Express for Dolphins games, and Concert Connect for big shows. In the app and on the website, those trains are easy to spot thanks to a special icon. Put it all together, and passengers get a network that feels more responsive, more generous with time, and more transparent with price. Shorter waits at rush hour. Bigger train sets when Florida heads north or south for the weekend. A premium experience that moves passengers faster from the lobby to their seat. And a fare display that tells passengers the whole story up front. It's not about reinventing the service. It's about smoothing the edges so the ride works better for more people, more of the time. Do you think these new services can really keep up with the rising demand for travel and change the way Brightline serves its passengers today? Drop one if you think they can, and that it's the right move, or 0 if you're not convinced. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Recently, Orlando Airport has opened the long-awaited spacious pedestrian bridge that links Terminal C, the train station, and the Terminal Link, creating a simpler, weather-protected path for seamless transfers. The bridge features bi-directional moving walkways about 90 feet long today, with extensions planned as the wider program comes online in 2026, including the new rental car lobby. A third set of walkways is also slated for the existing GTF bridge to improve passenger flow. This is just one piece of a larger plan around Terminal C. Phase 1 gate expansion is underway, adding 4 boarding piers that can handle the equivalent of 8 narrow-body aircraft, boosting capacity and giving the operation more flexibility at peak times. In parallel, airport teams are studying where additional moving walkways would deliver the biggest gains, so the end-to-end journey keeps getting faster and easier. As CEO Lance Little noted, the pedestrian bridge represents both progress and a promise. By opening this new access, we are delivering greater convenience to our passengers and meeting their expectations of a world-class airport. You feel that promise the moment you step on. No more dodging traffic or threading a parking garage with luggage, just a direct, intuitive connection designed for people on the move. For Brightline riders, the payoff is immediate. Intermodal trips work best when the handoff is smooth, and this bridge stitches the rail station and Terminal C into one continuous flow. Bags roll, shoulders relax, and wayfinding becomes simple for first-time visitors and frequent flyers alike. And yes, a future Wedway-style people mover would be a rail fan's dream, but this is a smart, traveler-first step that delivers today, turning a former pain point into a proper gateway. Brightline's refresh and Orlando's new bridge point to a simpler, faster trip on the rails and through the airport. With higher frequencies, longer train tickets, and a direct, weather-protected link from Terminal C to the station, transfers feel purposeful instead of stressful. Time savings stack up. Fewer waits, smoother wayfinding, and a premium journey that moves you from lobby to seat with less friction. It's a practical step toward a Florida corridor that runs more like a modern network.